Damn, what a hole. Really opens up a lot when you take the air box out. Oh, hello. Are you looking to change your transmission fluid on your Ford Flex as well? Oh, well, keep watching. This sure does open up a lot of stuff. And it's kind of filthy. Oh my God, those lines are rusted. Yeah, we ain't going down that road. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a transmission drain and fill on the Flex's transmission. And this procedure should be similar to its siblings, the Explorer and the Taurus, and its cousin, the MKT. Probably curious, what is a flush and what is a drain and fill? The drain and fill that I'm doing here only drains the fluid in the transmission pan. It's about 5 quarts of fluid, and that's it. Hence, I'm going to be doing my drain and flush 3 times. The initial one, about 500 miles later, the second one, and about 500 miles later, the third one. That way I can get all the fluid replaced in the cooler and in the torque converter. The transmission flush hooks a vacuum machine up to the transmission line and vacuums out nearly all of the old fluid while replacing it with new fluid. Cost-wise, this was about $100, and when I go to the dealer and have them do the transmission flush, it's about $100. So pick your poison about which way you want to go. Under the Flex. Oh, guess I need to. Oh, this could be a pain, but anyway. So to change the transmission fluid, as you see, I don't have it jacked up or anything. I'm gonna go for this bolt right here, which is that a 10? I don't know if it's a 10. No, maybe a 12. Let's try a 12. Looks bigger than a 10. 12. 12 works. Okay, maybe I don't. What about 11? Do I have an 11? I do. It's not ratcheting 11, but it's an 11. So, let's try it. And, hey, 11 works. Now I just need a tray. We're gonna go under here. Now doing this, the only fluid that's going to come out is whatever fluid's right here in the case. Anything up here in the transmission cooler, anything in the torque converter, that fluid isn't going to come out. So this is going to be called a drain and then refill. So I'm going to crack this bolt. Kind of wish I had a ratcheting 11 mil. There we go. Have your pan ready. Whoa. It doesn't really. It's warm because I just had my Flex running when I changed the serpentine belt. But it looks clean. Still kind of smooth. Now that I'm up here at the top, I'm going to remove the air box. Clearly with the wrong size slotted screwdriver. Anyway, there's 2 clips right here. Clip those down and pull this away, being careful that I don't ruin my mass airflow sensor that's right here. This comes up and just set that to the side. Set our filter to the side. Ooh, now there's 2 bolts right here. If your Flex is young, you take those bolts out and this whole box comes out. My Flex is old, so those are long gone. Up and away. And right down there is our Mercuron LV dipstick in our transmission. Now, I'm going to get a paper towel and pull that dipstick out because that's where it's going to get filled. Make sure my funnel is clean. Unscrew this dipstick. Or not. Well, okay. Oh, there we go. And that way, I'm gonna see. If it says I'm empty, it says I'm empty. Okay. I'm gonna put a funnel there. And before I fill, I need to go back down below and put that little bolt back on. Back underneath. I'm gonna come over here and write a slow drip. So now we're just gonna put this right back up in there. Holy crap, I took a lot of fluid out of this. Oh man. I don't need a snug, just enough to tighten it. Here in post, I went to put in the section where I demonstrated on refilling the transmission, and I don't have that footage. But I swear I hit that record button. But all YouTubers say that. We think we hit record, in reality we don't. Hence I'm here now in post. Previously you saw the air box removed and I had my funnel right over here ready to go. The transmission fluid, in case I didn't mention it, that you need for the Flex is Micron LV. It will be on the dipstick handle as well. You only want to put in the fluid that the handle calls for. Do not mix different types of transmission fluid. When you're pouring, if you have a jug like I have, and you're pouring down the funnel, you want to go slow and steady, because if you go too fast, you could overfill the funnel. Ask me how I know. And how much you put in is dependent on how much comes out. In case you're wondering, the entire 5-quart jug will fit. Ask me how I know. The fill that I did today, the third one, I put 4.5 quarts in. I filled it just above the hash marks on the dipstick tube. If you're filling the system dry, so you have a new transmission cooler, new torque converter, whatnot, per the spec, the dry capacity is 12.5. Let me squeeze in here real quick. So during the post editing of this video, I went to the manual to get the picture that says if the system is dry, it's 12.5 quarts. Only I don't remember where the hell I read it at in the manual. I thought, well, maybe I read it in the manual for the vehicle. And in doing this entire process, I found some confusing information, at least for me. So in the vehicle manual, in the back, it lists the two transmissions. The 6F50, the transmission with NA engine, is 9.4 quarts. If you have EcoBoost, you have the 6F55 transmission, and it's 10.2 quarts. In the shop manual, for the NA version, it gives 6.5 quarts of fluid, or if the main cover was removed, then it's 4.5 quarts of fluid. And then if you look down further, for the one with a 3.5 liter GTDI EcoBoost engine, it gives the same damn information, which was confusing me. So I looked in the front of the manual and went to the transmission cooler, the cooling section. And here it just lists fill capacity as 9.4 quarts without any distinction between which transmission the Flex has. I don't know how you techs do this in a shop. So I just filled mine 4.5 quarts and I haven't had any issues. And another final theory, final thought on refilling, maybe a shortcut per se. If you don't have EcoBoost, you have the NA version, you potentially could get away without removing the airbox, and that is because you could, theoretically, put your hand or arm in between the airbox and the engine and get down to the transmission to remove the dipstick, and then you get a long funnel and you just shove it down there, you're good to go. EcoBoost, the hot side of the air intercooler tubing is right here, which will prevent that from happening. Let me know if you would try that or if you think removing the airbox is pretty easy. Once I put new fluid in, I turned the vehicle over and then I cycled through the gearing right here a couple of times to get the new fluid cycling through the clutch packs. So I went through reverse, neutral, drive, and then back up through the gearing again. And then if you have EcoBoost like I do, you'll have M down here. So I went all the way down in the M, and then on the display, I cycled. You can use the handles to cycle through the gearing manually. You can only go through the first and second gear. So there's gear 2 and there's gear 1. You can't go any higher, it will just flash at you. On screen here is the second drain and fill that I had completed about 500 miles after the first drain and fill. I did this one hot. So this is after my 40-mile commute home from work. Be careful you don't burn yourself. And since I did this one hot, when I refilled with new transmission fluid, I filled it to the hot side of the hash marks. Once everything cooled off, I then rechecked the fluid and filled it up to the remaining max level once it was cold. There we are. There we are. Here is the third drain and fill that I'd done. This one's about 520 miles later, bringing us here now. Now looking at my 3 samples, this is the first one, the second one, this is the third one. To me, the fluid looks the same. The first one has about 25,000 miles on it, and then as mentioned, the second and the third are about 500 miles in between those changes. Let me know in the comments on what you would do. Would you do the drain and flush or the drain and fill like I did here? Or would you pay an automotive shop to hook it up to the vacuum machine and do a flush? Also, how often would you do this service? Since I've owned my Flex and I've driven so much, I used to do it every year, every 25,000, 30,000 miles is when I would do it. And also note, I don't tow with my Flex. So if you're towing, you might have to decrease the mileage in between your changes so that you get better, you keep the fluid nice and fresh, because towing adds a strain on your vehicle. Let me know in the comments on your thoughts, on your opinions. Oh, I'm getting old. Let's see if I can still do this from standing up Indian style. Oh, that project was exhausting. For more great Flex content, click here. For more great content posted this year, click here. To subscribe, click here. And thank you. Thank you to everyone for watching, commenting, subscribing, for sharing. Thank you all for everything. I really do appreciate it.